Hey guys, it's Cody from Team Epidemic. I'm going to be showing you one of my favorite decks to play. It's actually Cubic Sky Strikers. Now the Sky Striker package is just in here for draw power, and it just helps you get more monsters on board to make link monsters like Pentastag or a Nightmare Phoenix to get rid of back row, because that is one of the biggest weaknesses of this deck, since your boss monster is actually immune to monster effects that's under under 3,000 attack. So it actually has to have like 3,100 attack just to affect it. But you run 3 Doozas, which is your normal summon the deck. It's kind of like a Foolish Burial Goods. It sends any of your cubic cards to the graveyard. And normally you send your Karma because you can banish Karma from the graveyard and it searches out a cubic monster from your deck to your hand. But Wave's actually really good in the graveyard too, just because you can send it, banish cubic monsters from the graveyard, and negate monster effects. But I run 3 Crimson Novas, which is your boss monster and your win condition. It's just ridiculously good. If you have 3 or more cubic cards with different names in your hand, you can special summon this guy. If he destroys a monster, by battle, he gets to attack again. You can get this guy up to a ridiculous high attack power with Cubic Karma and Cubic Wave. And then at the end of the turn, he does a 3k burn to both players just to ensure that you finish your opponent off in one turn. I run 3 Yugioh the Cubic Seed. These guys are just a hand target. They're actually really good stall cards. You can set it in defense, and if your opponent attacks into it, it's not destroyed by battle. You can use its effect, and it puts itself in your spell and trap card zone, which is really good for the striker engine because you can clear it out of your main monster zone. And it gives a cubic counter to your opponent's monster, and they can't attack or use their effects anymore. It's just really good. And then you just special summon it back, and you can actually use this guy to crash into something. Like if they have like a Gnat Beast out or something, you can like bring this guy out, crash in the Gnat Beast, and then just use its effect and it negates it, and then you can special summon it back on the same turn. A lot of people don't know that if it's your turn, you can bring it back out the same turn where you activate its effect. I then run Cubic Wave. This is the attack boost of the deck, the main one. It cuts your opponent's monster's attack in half and doubles yours of your cubic monster. Normally you use this on Crimson Nova, but I've actually OTK'd with Dooza more times than I can count. You also have Karma, which is one that goes to the graveyard, searches out a monster, but also you can activate this, send your cubic Yugiohs from your deck or your hand to the graveyard, and it targets one cubic monster and it gets 800 attack for each one. So it's a total 2,400 attack boost. And you just want to make sure you use your Karma first and say give your Nova 2,400 so it becomes 54, and then you use your Wave so it doubles the 2,400 boost that you got, so your 5,400 becomes 10,800. And it's just ridiculous. And if you multi-wave, I mean, you can just keep running the numbers up. I run 2 Rays, and they're mainly just targets for Allure of Darkness. So you just use Engage, add Ray, draw another card, and then you use Allure of Darkness, banish Ray, because you're not worried about normal summoning it, because you just use Hornet Drones to get out your Kagari. Because this is a OTK deck, you're pretty much just going to play one turn. I run 1 Jamming Waves, just a searchable back row removal, because that is one of the weaknesses of this deck. And then 1 Hornet Drones, just to make your Kagari. I run the Curse Bamboos because they're insanely good as draw power in this, because you can actually send one with your Foolish Burial Goods that puts 2 spells in the graveyard for your Engage, and then anytime Curse Bamboo goes to the graveyard, you get to search out one of your other bamboo swords like your Broken or your Golden. But if you draw into this, you can actually like activate your Hornet Drones, equip your Cursed Bamboo, and then link into Kagari, and then Cursed Bamboo goes to the grave, and then you add in your Broken Bamboo or your Golden, and like you just keep drawing into stuff that way. And you can actually like just after you use Kagari, you can equip another one, go into your other Sky Striker link, and just keep sending them that way. So even if you have them in hand, they're not bad. And your Allure of Darkness, of course. 1 Pot of Desires. It's actually not needed, but I mean, it never hurts just to have that 1 draw. 1 Upstart Goblin, just to go through, slim the deck down and put spells in the grave. And 2 Foolish Burial Goods. This is actually like the best card in the deck, because you can send your Karma, You can send your Curse Bamboo, and you can actually even send your Engage if you like open up with Hornet drones, and you just use Foolish Burial Good, send your Engage, make Hornet drones go into Kagari, and add Engage to your hand that way, so you don't have to like mill it out from your deck, and you can automatically get started. I do run a small tune package in here with Toon Mass Sorcerer. It doesn't have to be this guy, it's just anything dark. So you just activate Toon Table, into Toon Table, into Toon Table, and then into this guy, and he's just in there for an Allure of Darkness target, because you don't want to banish all your V-Joms or your Novas, so you just want to have something safe to activate, and this also is so quick in putting 3 spells in the grave, and it slims your deck down to where you're drawing into the cards that you really want to see. And then I also run 1 Twin Twisters, just because, again, back row is the weakness, and you just pop anything like Solemn Strikes or any Floodgates, because a lot of players are playing those. And that's pretty much it for the main deck. It's actually really simple and nasty. It's just, like I said, a lot of draw power, and the goal is to end up with as many cubic cards in your hand as possible, but all you need is just your Nova and then 3 other cards, and it can actually be like 2 Novas, as long as the 3 cards you reveal have different names. So you can have like your V-Jom, a Nova, and a Duza, and another Nova, and summon that Nova, and then you got your Karmas and your Waves. And I actually, in the side deck, I put 1 Unification. I just put this in there for the games you know you're going first, and then you don't have to worry about making your board turn 1, so you just summon Duza, throw your Unification, and when that's in the graveyard and a cubic monster leaves the field, you can banish it, special summon another cubic monster from your deck, so you can either do V-Jom, but what I like to do is just do another Duza. So that cubic monster can't be destroyed by a battle or card effects for that turn, so it's just like a safety net to where you know you're not going to get OTK'd, and you actually get to swing back in and destroy them next turn. You can also just bring out V-Jom since it can't be destroyed by battle, and you can like just link Karibo it away if it's in your main monster zone and they don't attack it. So that's a good way. But you can also link climb with the Unification and all this stuff. If you just bring out Duza, throw the Unification, and they don't get rid of it or whatever, you summon something else and go into like a Nightmare Phoenix or any Link 2, and then you actually banish, since a cubic left the field, you banish it, special summon out another Duza, throw another target like Karma, and just then you're automatically up to a Link 3, so you can make anything like Decode or Nightmare Unicorn, whatever you're running. I tried keeping the extra deck pretty budget, because I know Sky Striker Engage is pretty expensive, but 2 Hayates, and like you'll rarely use more in one of these, and that's just to get your Engage in, but you actually really want to see the Engage before battle phase. But I mean, sometimes you just make it and kill in the next turn. Kana is in there just for like adding life points and just having another throwaway Link monster, but a lot of people fail to realize how good this is, because you can actually just have Ray out, and if you're about to get like OTK'd or something, or about to lose in their battlefield, you can tag Ray out, special summon this, and say they have like a 4,000 monster that's fixing to attack directly. When Kana's special summoned, you can target one of your opponent's monsters, and it can attack until their next turn. So it just, until the end of their next turn or whatever. So you just throw it out, pick that target, and then their battle phase is pretty much done. They don't get to attack you anymore with that monster. Your Kagari, which is the main draw engine, and you can cut the striker links down. There's just really not much you need in the extra deck, but you can go with some rank 4s and all this stuff, because you're really just, again, playing through one turn, so you really only need 1 or 2 of these, but they're just in there for extra, in case you did have to go into a grind game. And Suzuku, which adds a random Sky Striker card from your deck to your hand at the end phase. You have your Nightmare Phoenix just to pop any back row, Skull Dread, Cerebrus, and everything in here is pretty standard. Your Link Karibo's just to get a V-Jom off the board in case you're stuck with one. And you same with Clara, and if you ever get locked out of spells by like Secret Village or whatever, this card can come in a lot of handy, because you just normal summon something like a Ray or a V-Jom or a Duza, go to your main phase 2, and then you can just link summon that, and then you're free to activate your spells and get rid of any floodgates or whatever stopping you. And a bore load, just because it's a problem solver. And then the Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max, which just takes 2 level 10s. And if you're ever in a situation to where you didn't kill them, and it's like, say you have like 2,000 life points, and they have 2,000 life points, and your Nova is going to burn and kill you both. You can actually just make 2 Novas into this guy and detach a material and burn them for 2,000 damage. The side deck is pretty standard. It's just 1 unification, which I talked about earlier, the Twin Twisters, 3 Pankratops just to get rid of any floodgates or any problematic cards, like if they're siding in Anti-Spell Fragrance or Imperial Order or anything like that. 3 Ash, and you can like side these in and take small things out like Upstart and stuff like that. Just keep your game consistent, but also stop your opponent. Red Reboot, which is probably the best card in here, just in case you're getting floodgated or something. You just throw this down, and you know you're going to win that turn, so you really don't care about losing the 4,000 to impermanence. And I do have the Dark Kaiju in here as just another out to like Naturia Beast or anything of that sort. And the reason why I chose the dark one is just so it's also an Allure of Darkness target. So it's just like the best choice as far as that goes. But that's pretty much it for the deck, and I'll attach some replays and show you guys it in action and how all the cards interact with each other.